Hank Brill here in the basement of Reggie's with UVTV. Tonight I am chilling with Corrosion of Conformity's Mike and Woody. Hey fellas.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
It is good to see you guys again. Last time I saw you two was here back in October on Riot Fest, back at the Double Door. That was a brutal show. Nice seeing the Animosity line for the first time right after you brought them out. So that was cool. And I gotta say, I was a little worried reading headlines a week ago with you guys canceling shows and whatnot. How's Reid feeling?
He's still with us.
That's good. That is good.
He's among us.
So what happened? It was something heat related, or?
Fell out. Yeah, and bit the hell out of his tongue, and
He was in the hospital for like 3 days, man.
because they just
He bit his tongue. Wait,
He had a seizure, heat seizure.
a heat seizure.
Extreme dehydration, no electrolytes, no potassium and sodium in his system.
None.
About dead.
You almost lost your drummer.
Yeah,
Apparently.
pretty close to it.
yeah.
Wow. And a week after being out of the hospital, he's playing tonight. He's doing.
A day after being, they kept him there for a couple days, and
Yeah, we've done a few shows since then.
we were gonna abduct him and take him home and tell him we were done, and I don't know. He argued a little bit. He put up a pretty good fight. He looked all right. We're like, all right, we'll try it. Don't croak on us or anything.
Yeah.
Played some good shows since then, so it was a shame that we missed playing with Clutch. A couple places like Flint, Michigan. Machine Shop's a really good gig. That particular night in Pittsburgh would have been a really awesome gig, and I don't believe we've ever played Traverse City, Michigan, so we had to cancel those 3 shows, and we're gonna have to go back to those places.
So right now, you guys, your next album's going to get released before the year is out. Is that correct?
It's looking like next year at this point, just
Yeah.
because.
We really hoped it was going to be this year.
Yeah.
Attention, but, it's primarily finished. Said drummer needs to perform his vocal tracks, and we need to mix. Everything else is done.
But what's the approximate length going to be, you think? How many tracks?
Tracks.
Like what, 12 songs or something?
11 or 12. I'd say a pretty substantial running time of 50.
But you're like old school long LP.
It's
long player.
Yeah, it's not pushing the 70 minutes of a compact disc or anything like that, but I think it's about 50 something minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. And from what I've been hearing and reading, you guys are going to pick up where you left off within the Arms of God as far as that sort of sound, but yet you're combining the Animosity sound to that. Is that correct?
That's not far off. I mean, it kind of represents. There's stuff in there that represents all phases of the of the band, all periods, but sort of reinterpreted.
I can agree with that.
Through where we're coming from right now. And it may have started off conceptually to be more of picking up that Animosity, but and some of it kind of is, but as far as tempos, being some fast tempos and stuff like that, but it really just kind of it defied any type of calculated forethought, on our part. It just took on life on its own.
Cool.
So we had a concept and we disregarded it.
We deviated as usual.
What is your concept? What are you guys writing about this time around?
Lyrically, let's see. It's pretty oblique lyrically. It's really, there's not much that's really like on the nose, like about anything. I'd be interested. I'm really interested to hear people's interpretations of what they believe songs are about. Because I mean, when I'm writing lyrics, I write a lot of them. I just kind of wait for. I may have something in mind when I write a line, but I may have something else in mind when I write the next line, and I wait for them to kind of assemble themselves in a way that makes sense, or maybe has potential multiple interpretations. But I mean, I have like some agenda, but it's.
So would it be?
I don't want to hit anybody over the head with it. I'd like to see what people take away from it.
Okay. So would it be safe to say then that you like writing things with a surreal state of mind rather than a literal state of mind?
Well, there's some literal, there's a fair amount of literalness in there, but there's a touch of the surreal and a touch of the less linear or lateral consciousness.
So right now you guys have Pepper on ice, more or less, while he's going out and doing this down thing. So he's not on this album, but he's not out of the band. What's his status classification?
His status is rather engaged, doing down. Like their plan is to do 5 EPs, each with a different theme. And it's our intention when he has time and we have time, and after we've released this record and exploited it as a 3-piece and kind of taken that whole trip somewhere, it seems like it would be a good idea to do like a 4-piece type of release, to collaborate with him again, do something like that, because I think that would be even more interesting after we've kind of gone on this route. So
it's quite an interesting musical journey to watch, to see you guys go back and forth and have a renaissance of your older stuff mixing with your newer stuff. And do you think that with this album, or maybe the one afterwards, when perhaps you would combine the eras with Pepper and the Animosity lineup, whatnot, would you ever release a proper eponymous album as far as like self-titled?
Oh, that's been a thought. That's actually
It's been a thought, yeah.
that's been a thought for this, and it's also actually been thought of for that.
For like,
Yeah, self-titled is good because we hadn't done it. Yes, you're perceptive. Self-titled.
Trying,
thinking
man.
ahead.
Self-titled's
Man,
a good idea.
You're helping us name the record right there. dude.
I would love to.
We've been all over that. That's a distinct possibility. It really is, because for one of the next ones, if it's worthy. This one will be worthy, but do we want to save it for that?
It's a big responsibility to put that on an album, because it's like almost claiming that this would be your definitive album.
Right.
So, but you guys do not have an album title for what's about to be released yet, correct?
We haven't decided on anything. No.
Anything that you can throw around it that you can say? Possible album titles?
Maybe Mike has some rough ideas.
That if you
that I
asked
don't
me
know
that question, I would say Corrosion of Conformity. I would say 3.
There's 3 of us here today.
Yeah, the trio.
So the COC3 in
Yeah.
that case.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be the name of the band, but as far as the record would be.
Okay.
Not because it's the 3rd record, but because it's the trio. Return to the trio. So, and it's iconic. If you do Roman numerals like that, it's very iconic. It looks cool.
It's really interesting when I saw you guys at Riot Fest, and as I'm already seeing tonight as people are lining up and whatnot, it's interesting how your band, your demographics that you guys have been bringing around. I see younger kids who have been into anything from the more stoner sound to and then I see like I got people upstairs who are in their 40s and they're die-hard people. I actually know people who
They
have.
got a babysitter tonight, and they're ready to.
It's exactly right. I even know people who have you tattooed on them. That's a huge honor, right? So, what can you say about your fans? Is not only just how your fans are the greatest and whatnot, but in the sense of everyone's fans are the greatest.
I'm fans. We're the best in the world.
Damn it.
But being a band that can cover multiple generations with relevance and not just popularity but significance.
That's a goal, that's a good goal to have, and some nights it seems like, some nights and some locations, we accomplish that. It depends on the venue. I mean, you're talking about Chicago, where you have a pretty eclectic mix of people who are open to different stuff, so that's going to be a really good example of that here, but
And not to mention, Chicago is one of those towns that we've done
for years.
Many times all through the years, in all different venues. So we're probably going to glean a lot of different kind of people.
Awesome. And with a possible self-title on the way at some point in the near future, with all these sounds, it seems like you guys are hitting the climax. What do you think COC's overlasting legacy, image, whatever you want to call it, what do you think you guys are going to be leaving behind in the end?
I can't even think about that, man. You just try to follow your instincts and do good, so it's not something, be yourself and follow your instincts and do something good, so it's not something cheesy, but that's a hard thing to be calculated about. Where I'm sitting, I just don't roll like that. you could go down a pretty self-indulgent path if you sat around and contemplated that, you know.
True.
What's my legacy? It's like, man.
It's not something we ponder.
So COC is just here to play.
Pretty much.
Right on.
We're just lucky to
we're
still
here
be
to
doing it. Man.
create some music, release some good music and go try to deliver it. Tonight we're here to try to deliver it and, have fun.
Cool. All right, well, Mike and Woody, thank you very much for the time. I appreciate it.
Hank Pro with UVTV. We're out.